That was a wait.
Oh, we're on? Uh-oh. Oh, okay. Whew. I almost got like, what is it called, stage struck? Hi. Everybody's online, right? Or as us old dudes say, on the line.
On the line.
Okay. So check it out. We're going to pan over. Guess where we are? We are in Lafayette, Indiana for Festool Live. Everybody say hi. Everybody go, whoa. I said, whoa. All right. Woo. Home of the Nature Boy. I'm just kidding. Okay, so Minnie's here.
Hi, everybody.
Sparky's here. Do you know why? It's 12 noon and it's Festool Live. So we got all this extra help today. Over here on the whiteboard / what is that? Play next wall? We have Bob from finance. Say hey, Bob. Hi. Woo, awesome. Back here answering questions, we have Garrett Sato. Over here we have Gage the Whiz Kid Ella. Right here behind the camera, you can't see him. We have Chris the Unit Seibert. And I forget what my name is, but we can go from there. Okay, so this is episode number 107. And who else do I got? Oh, we get Sparky. Okay, good. And I think I got everybody. My notes are not in front of me. I got them right here on my tablet. Okay, first and foremost, I want to thank Von Tobel Lumber for hosting this event. They're back here somewhere. Everybody wave from Von Tobel. Let's see it. Woo! We got all kinds of people from Von Tobel here. They're a employee-owned company, and we're totally honored that they came and said, hey, let's do Festool Live. Or did we say, hey, Festool Live here? I don't know. I always forget. But I want to thank them. We've worked with them for many, many years. They're a phenomenal Festool dealer. That's their logo up top here. Chris, get that? Check out these rails, man. Isn't that cool? Okay? And look at that. Look at the size of that banner. I've never seen anything that big. I think that's so cool. All right, so I also want to call out this before we get started. A lot of you see Minnie, myself, Big D, Chris every Friday. But today, the real team is here. We have people from finance. We have executives here. We're only 45 minutes away. I'm not going to call out all the names from our family that are here because I forgot a few people when I was introducing them earlier. But Michael's here, Rick is here, Bob is here, Larry's here, Angela is here, Robert is here. Little C, Christian is here. We got so many people here from our corporate headquarters, and we have a running joke with Festool Live that I always say I'm getting nervous. Hey, I got a quick question for you. You ever have to get up and speak in high school or grammar school, and you always have that person in the back of the class making funny faces? So if I'm laughing and I get a little unruly today, Robert isn't back and he's already started to laugh, okay? I just want to call that out, everybody, because I am a little nervous that he's in the room. I had to keep him away from all my samples earlier. Okay, so let's get at it. Let's go back in time. This is episode 107. Episode 43, I had to look it up yesterday. We called it table joinery. And we built this unit right here. Not that unit, this unit. And we used the dominoes because I wanted to teach how to do this offset. You see it right here? And you can do that with the gauge block. After that table joinery episode or Festool Live, I was getting emails, texts. Hey, can you do the same thing with the domino connectors? Absolutely. And then it erupted, hey, I want to do something like this, a right angle with an offset on a larger table. So today I'm going to take my time. I've done a ton of layout. I'm going to go through the layout with you. I'm going to show you how to do this table over here. Chris, come on and walk with me, babe. Right over here, okay? And I'm going to show you how to do the domino connectors to make this a knockdown fixture. But more so, I'm going to do it with the Domino XL as well, to show you how to create the offset with the domino connectors. So, in doing this and getting everything set up, and I tell this all the time, usually Monday morning when I'm setting up and creating a Festool Live. I'm always like, somebody will laugh at me and say, man, you did Festool Live on the hoses? And I go, dude, there's a lot on the hoses, okay? But it's also, I get to investigate the little nuances of things. And that's what I want to get across to you today, because when I was going through this, I was looking up, and I called Garrett. Garrett, when was that, a couple nights ago? I was on my way home, and I said, hey, what's the minimum thickness you can use for an apron skirt, or minimum thickness of a, for the XL? And we were trying to go through it, and I go, I'll go home and look it up. And I couldn't find that information online. I finally found it in the instructions that come with it. So today I milled pieces at 30 millimeters thick. That's the minimum the Domino connectors can go into, okay? The maximum is whatever you want, but the other critical one, and there was somebody here yesterday when I was setting up, I won't say his name, Aaron, and we were talking, okay? We were talking about what connectors he should get. And I said, what's your minimum you want to use? And he goes, well, I'm building a bookcase, I think it was, or an armoire. And he said, I'm going into a 20 millimeter 3/4. I go, you need the Domino 500 connectors, because the minimum on the connectors for the 500 is 18, and the maximum is 28. So hopefully that helps you out a little. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the setup to do this right here. I'm going to take an apron skirt and put it into the taper. Let me get this correct, right here. And this is where I always start. What's my layout? This is my face, okay, that my apron is going into right here, okay? I make this mark here. See that little arrow? Because that is where I'm going to place my domino. My plate is going here. Then I'm going to come over here and go like this, and I always have a little bit of a layout right here, and I'll go here, and I want to create that offset today. But I can do that with the connectors, but I know, see how I mark that? That's where that fence, which I call right here, the fence goes up against that. In other words, you don't want holes or domino mortises on the outside. Do you know why? Because you'll have to sell it for more. Okay, that's an architectural defect. Okay, good. All right. Hey, it's a pretty good room when it's live. I get a little reaction here. Okay. Hey, try the veal. I'm here till 2 o'clock. Okay, good. All right, so as we go through this, there's so much layout. Yes, Robert, I brought the one I messed up yesterday. Okay. When you do layout on something, always mark your boards. I don't care how many, look at this, look at all the writing I have on this. Okay, plate height is 40, I'll go over that. PD or plunge depth is 20 and 15, because that's where the connect is gonna go. This is a layout line. The dimension from here to here is 55 millimeters. I rotate it, I bring it, I shoulder it over, and I write it on every board. Now, before I start mortising, maybe I'm doing 2, 3, 4 tables, you know, quantify that. Each leg has layout on it twice. Make sure you go through it to make sure your taper's on the insides, right? And how you're gonna reference your machine to the board. By the way, that's woodworking 101. And then the next thing you do, because you're gonna see how I'm switching back and forth on this machine through this whole exercise today, you're gonna see how confusing it can be. Label it and it won't be confusing. Like over here, pH is 20. pH always in my head stands for a plate height. This is the plate. The bottom part here is the base. We've done several episodes on this. And then PD is my plunge depth. So when you're working with the connectors, there's 2 depths you've got to remember. 15 and 28. 15 being the wedge anchor, 28 being the cross anchor. So you'll see how that all works in a few minutes as I'm going to do one side of this. I also do this. Wherever I label my top, okay? And I label here where it says 28. I turn it over so I don't get confused, and I just draw a hole there. And that is where we create our access hole with a drilling jig, and I'll show you that momentarily. So the first one I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set this up to do this piece right here. I'm gonna grab my clamp, and I want you to step through this, because I'm gonna go through some safety stuff with the Domino as well. I'll just take it like this, set it up like this, and lock it in. Let's see if my dust extractor's working. Okay, let's see. Let's turn her on. There we go, beautiful. I think we have Bluetooth on the MIDI. We do. I'm gonna plug her in. Okay, so I got an announcement to make here. I hope everybody knows this sitting here. And all those people online, you didn't show up. They got brats and hot dogs. Man, the smell is unbelievable. It's in the aisle over. So man, I'm getting hungry. And if you don't get here in time, I'm gonna eat all of them. Now, important, when you put a plug-it cord on your machine, always, 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 it's a full quarter turn. Good, let's get this on. Now, let's verify the machine. First, I'm gonna set my plate height. It's really simple. Okay, when I take this, you see the window? I'm gonna put 20 in there, because that's the distance, you ready? Or the thickness of my material. So the distance from here to the center is 10 millimeters. That puts me in the middle of that 20 millimeter board. Okay, now, today, I'm not gonna use the flaps. I'm gonna use these. These are the little wings that are on the support bracket. Now on the XL, I'll be using 20, but one of the pins is at 20. So I'm gonna come in here, I'm gonna set my plunge depth at 20, right here, look. You pull this blue tab here, and it's set at 20. Everything is gonna be done at tight. So I'm gonna come over here, okay? Remember, let the plate rest on there. You plunge in line. Okay, now, when I do this next one, I'm gonna do 2 more operations, but I'm gonna wait for the machine to cycle down, because I'm gonna take the wing out of the way. I'm gonna put this wing up, because I'm gonna come 20 from this side, and I'm gonna set my plunge depth at 28. I'm gonna wing it in here like this, okay? So this is my top here. I'm just gonna bring it over here, and I'm gonna do this side here. See this? Okay, now, see how I had it set at 20? That was the thickness. So from the plate to the center of the bit's 10. I wanna create that offset, all right? So it's pretty simple, but you gotta remember this, and this gets so confusing when I show this to people. This is the thickness of the material in here. When I take this and I bring it to 40. That's how I'm gonna do the leg. Look, I even labeled it, plate height 40. That's actually gonna take me an additional 10 millimeters down. You'll see in a minute. You have to do it to understand it. But what I'm gonna do is I also gotta position my clamping properly as well. So I'm gonna take it, now this is on a taper. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a board and put it in there, so I got a nice reference. I'm gonna take it like this. Oop, let me get this board under here so it's well supported. And remember, what I've always shown you on Festool Live is to work off of the table. All right, now I got it set at 40. My plunge depth is I'm gonna use the same tab from the top. Okay, I got it set at 40, and my plunge depth on this is only 20. Okay, because I'm gonna use an 8x40 tenon, and that'll match up. Okay, I'm gonna start getting my connector so I can explain a few things as we go through this. The next plunge depth is for this. This is a wedge anchor, okay? That I don't have any other settings than 15 millimeters of depth. But here's the situation. See how I use the precision of the machine and the flap from the top of the leg? I can't use a flap to get this. In this offset here, what is it, Robert? Oh, he left already, huh? Okay, good. It's 55 millimeters, because that's why I have this setup block. Let me pull this out so you can see it. And hopefully you guys can come up afterwards, okay, and see these setup blocks. But this was my top, and to that right there, I measured, because that's 20 and 20, it's 55 millimeters. So I measured that out, and I labeled it. Because remember, everything's in the tight setting. All right, next, let's get this out. How are we doing on time?
15 minutes left.
That's it? Okay, I'm hurrying. I removed that flap, that wing, so I'm going to use that layout line. And remember, when you're using the Domino connectors, okay, everything is done in tight. And I decided to do the other ones in tight. Now, I got my equalizer here. I'm gonna punch that in real easy. And then I'm gonna take this post. And this post is, there's a lot to it, because I'm gonna take out this little grub screw right here. And you're gonna see how that tip is conical. Everybody sees that online? Okay, and this acts like kind of like a draw board, because that 28 dimension plunge depth, that'll take it and draw it in, so that'll come together tight. So what I want to point out on this is when you screw this in, there's a couple ways to do it. You see the little 3 millimeter access on here? It's a 3 millimeter hex that we throw in there. You can also use, because these are 1/4 inch across the flats, I can take that, and you always tighten it all the way down. I usually set my clutch about 6 on that. I'm gonna come back, and here's where I'm gonna start to eyeball it. This is the front right here. This taper has to go to the back. So I'm just gonna take that, if I can, whew, man, I'm getting nervous here, Chris. Okay, look, I'm gonna take that and turn it to the back. Okay, so that's where I'm gonna create an access hole, whew, in here. So let's double check I'm doing the right one, which I did, right? So we got to do this like this. I'm going to put this now, just, whew, man. This is a lot different. There's a lot more people in the room today. Wow. Okay, so I got to create this access hole. That one. Oh my God. So this is what the drilling jig's for. And this is what this bit's for. Okay. Here is a steel tenon. It slips inside the mortise. It doesn't go underneath. So to set this up, I'm just going to take it like this, open it up, put it into the mortise. Once you set this up, it's good for the whole operation. Make sure when you are doing this, you hook it up to dust extraction, okay? Okay, good, that's ready to rock and roll. Make sure I turn that on. And don't forget that when you start to drill that access hole in here, it's self-adjusting, all right? Don't start the bit, because you'll shear that off. Start the bit inside there. So here's where we go. Now, one of the tips I want to give you on connectors, because using the drilling jig, there's this little brass pat right here on the top. A lot of people stop a little bit shy with that. Make sure you punch it all the way through, because you have to give access to this little part right here so it lines up, and that doesn't stand proud when you tighten it. So I'm just going to take that out, just like that. Let's get a little more dust extraction in there. There we go. That's done. Now, we're going to put the cross anchor in there, just like that. To hold it in place, I'm going to take it like this, and we're going to slide it in. I'm going to take my adjuster, put that in. I'm going to take this Domino. Where are you? I brought extra. Because I went 20 and 20, I'm going to use an 8 by 40. I'm going to put that in there like this. Okay, now let's take that and slide it in. Let's get her in there. Oh, that was in there too far. Let me back it out. Okay, now here's the beauty of this. As I tighten it up, that little conical part is drawing on that little taper there, and as I take it, it makes it rock solid, just like that. So there you go, okay? Yay. Wait a minute, there's more. So if you guys want to pass that around and look at that, you'll see how solid that is. And if you flip it over, you'll see the automatic offset. That resetting that gauge block brings it right on in. Yes, there's a lot of math for setup and layout, but once you get going and you have those numbers there, it's just flip-flopping back and forth and doing it safely. That's all. Woo! Pretty sweet, huh? All right. Now, where this really shines, the knockdown settings, is, yes, this is a small occasional table, right? Okay, but what if you have something larger? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it with the XL, because everybody says when you're doing live, you always do it just on the 500. Well, how many people out there have an XL? Okay, and if anybody's online and you're raising their hand, that's cool too. Okay, because I would do the same thing when I watch these videos, other people's videos. I don't watch these. I kind of scare myself, you know. All right, so the next one I'm going to show is the XL. And we're good on time, Gage? Oh, wow, that's a lot sooner than I thought. Okay, where's my big boy? Right here. On the front here, you're going to see these little pins. The ones I'm going to use today, and I can push them back, are these. And the reason I do that is because sometimes when I have the plate down on my material, I get confused, and sometimes I'm on the 37, where today I need that 20. So I'm going to take it like that, and I'll do this piece first, because I get 20 and 20, and then I'll show you my layout here, and I'll show you how to measure here. Okay, let's get this. Now on here, I have already labeled my plate height is 15, and this is critical because in the directions, which I know nobody listens to or reads, it says minimum thickness is 30. But when I start to bore this hole with the domino, it's really critical, and I'll show you my measurements, okay, when I'm finished. So let's set up that plate height. Now, remember on the 500, I said the number that appears in the window is the thickness of material. Here, it's a direct reading from the plate to the center of the bit. So I'm going to set that at 15, and I'm going to release my plate height. I'll bring it down so it sits on the gauge block. Always verify that. And then I'm going to lock my 90 in right here. You know what? Before I get started, always remember, because you're going to be plunging vertically to this, I put the support bracket on first. Right? Bring it in. My plate height is 50. My plate height is 15, sorry. My PD, plunge depth, is 50, so that's pretty easy. I'm going to take it right here, look, and I'm going to set it at 50, and these are presets, so I'm going to bring it right in, leave it at 50. If I have a bunch of these and I need to flip-flop back and forth, I can put those presets on. Wow, this is a lot different than the training center, huh? This is kind of cool. Whoopsie, don't move. Good. All right. Oh, I need dust extraction, and I need the cord. Garrett, a lot of questions? Yeah, you got them? Good man. Okay, so see the little tab right there? I'm going to do 20 and 20. I'm going to bring it in. I'm going to turn it on. I always verify everything. 15, plunge depth is 50. Okay, so where's my board? Now, this one's going to be easy because remember the top of the leg? I'm going to just use that reference pin. But the other one I'm doing, okay, is this. And I can't get that. That's more than 50. I can't reference the pin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a quick measurement. And it's exactly where it was yesterday. Woo! And that was 68.5. So I'm just going to bring it down here and do a quick label. Where's my little pencil? Right here. Always have a backup. 68. Man. I'm just going to bring it across so I can eyeball it. Just like this. And that's where I came up with it. Now I'm going to verify. It's right where I want it, 68.5. Verify from the top again, 68.5. All right, good? I got all of that? Perfect. Next, I have to set this up. I'm going to take this. Oh, thank you, Chris.
No problem.
I'm going to take it because this is a larger taper. I'm going to make sure I have a nice area to do this. Woo! Bring it right on in. And let's verify. My plate height on this is 25. So let's do a little bit of metric on this. What's 25 minus 15? Lafayette loves metric, baby. They're good at this stuff. Okay, so we're going to set it up at 25. Hey, you guys have been at Von Tobel. You've been teaching metric here? Good. Okay. So I'm going to do 20. We're going to use this flap here. My plunge depth, oopsie, is 25. So I'm going to take that. And then I'm going to line up my cursor right here on my mat. XL connectors right here where I've been putting everything. Woo! And I'm going to get the wedge anchor out, which is right here. Boy, I got too many of these already pre-built. Now you can see how beefy this is. So I'm going to tap that in. Okay, just like that. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show how this goes in right here. And I'm going to take that. It takes a 4mm hex drive. So I'm just going to take that and spin it in like this. Okay. And remember, let's look at this. This is where my taper is here. Always, always turn the connector all the way down and then back it to your desired, where the taper is, to the back inside the table. Okay, now to fit in the 14mm, we have these shells. Let me get a couple of those and snap them in. They go right here. See, that's what that little recess is. We call these domino shells. See that right there? We're almost there. Now, this is going to go into the mortise like this, okay? But to tighten it, I need to create that access. Now, this is where I have seen over the years most people get confused, including me in the beginning, because I didn't understand the schematic. And what I did is I blew up a schematic here so we could actually see this on the measurement. Okay, my folding rule's right here. Okay, so we're going to do this. This is that little piece of paper you get inside the sustainer. And it says when you're measuring from the back, you measure to the center and add 10. So this is important. So the way I do it is I'm measuring from the back. I kind of know what that is because I milled this at 30. Okay, and halfway in between, because I set my plate height at what? 50. Hey, I finally found the gentleman who's paying attention. Okay, but what I always do is I double check, and I go, okay, 15. Okay, now hang on. hang on. This is Lafayette metric now. What's 15 plus 10? Wow, these guys are wicked good at metric. Okay, so my plunge depth will remain at 25. Now the other one is I got to place it from here to here. So I'm going to be plunging vertically. I'm going to come in 20 millimeters. That's the flap or the pin, but my plate height is 40. That's already predetermined. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to bring it and set it at 40, just like this. Okay. Whoop, 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 whoop. Whew, man. That's a long one, huh, Chris? Mm-hmm. Wow, man. How's the hands? You hanging in there?
Hanging in there,
man. Gage, is he holding that steady for us?
Steady enough.
Oh my, that was a good answer. Steady enough, baby. Okay, so let's verify everything. I'm checking my gauge, it's at 40. My plate height, I'm still at 90. My plunge depth is at 25. And I'm gonna use this pin, where are you? Right here. So whenever you're plunging vertically, okay, make sure you have the plate right up against where you're plunging. Turn it on. You hear that little extra afterwards? Hopefully you did. That way, what I'm doing is I'm making sure I have enough room for the cross anchor, which is similar, but I don't have to hold it because it's captured. So if I take it like that, and now in the domino connectors, a lot of people ask this question. Why do you have a 14 by 75? If you remember my plunge depths, 25 and 50. Hey everybody, what's 25 plus 50? Lafayette likes metric. Okay, so I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna step it in, I'm gonna put it together just like that, and I'm going to take that 4 millimeter hex, and Chris, get in here so you can see that pull right together. And what's happening is that it's just a 4 millimeter instead of a 3 millimeter. It's conical, and it's draw boring it right together. And there you go, and it's pulling in. And that, my friends, is also rock solid. So there you go. It's the first one-legged table. There you go. Wow! Look at all the extra people that showed up. Cool. What time is it?
12:32.
Oh, I ran 4 minutes over. I'm okay with that. So, what do we usually do now?
Call them out.
Let's call them out. Woo. Where you guys from? Michigan City.
Zionsville.
Zionsville. This is Doug from Zionsville.
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. West Lafayette. Kokomo. Kokomo.
Monticello.
Monticello, I've been there.
Granger. Lafayette.
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 Hogs Hill?
Clarksville.
Oh, okay. Where are you guys from?
Flora.
Flora. We know Michigan City.
Otterman.
Harvey?
Otterman.
Arterman.
Frankfurt.
Frankfurt. Hey, home of the hot dogs. That's it. I found that out yesterday. Chris played b-ball for him. Brookston. Rensselaer. Flora. Romney. Flora. Lafayette. Where you from?
Yeah.
Fickle.
Fickle? Oh.
Flora. West Lafayette.
Whitestown.
Lafayette.
Lafayette. Tim.
Valparaiso.
Trevor.
Valparaiso.
Valparaiso. Valpo, baby. Luke, where you from? Where you from, Angela? Carmel. Say it right. She did.
Attica.
Attica. Ooh, is that what the jail is? No. Okay. It's not really a jail. It's a prison. Okay.
Burlington.
Burlington, Vermont?
No. Indiana.
Oh, man, they got some good breweries. Oh, no, never mind. Okay.
Lafayette.
Lafayette.
Carmel.
Carmel. If I forgot anybody, I'm sorry. Now I got to call off the board. Thank you very much. What a great audience. All right, so we have Mark S. from Woodcraft, Springfield. We have Rick from sunny Blackpool, UK. Soren from Denmark. Joe from Waseca, Illinois. Julian N. from Lausanne, Switzerland. Warren S. from Caldwell, Idaho. Dirk. Man, I met Dirk the other night. How you doing, Dirk from Dayton? Wicked. Chris B. from Minneapolis. Blake Weber from Novato, California. Blake, how are you? Petrie N. from Yolarvi, Switzerland. Warren B. from Batavia, Ohio. In Fort Wayne, Indiana. Why didn't you get here? Mike M. from, hey everybody, Delaware. All right. Larry C. from Sun City, West Arizona. Mike M. Mr. Martinez, we love you, from Austin, Texas. Thomas S. from Penton, PA. PA is from Pennsylvania. Don P. from Albuquerque. Derek G. from Harrogate, England. Mark B. from the Netherlands. Mike T. from Perth, Australia. It's wicked late there right now. Thank you, Mike T. Adam W. from Custom Woodworking. Randy L. from Moreland, Georgia. Hey, Bob, you're a really good printer. Okay, Minnie, I think you have competition. Where are you? Okay, Norman J. from Los Angeles, Steve D. from Bermuda, Leo J. from Holland, Dana W. from Yakult, Washington, Joe K. from Bellevue, Washington, Jason and Yana, how are you, from Granite Falls, Washington? We met you out there at Woodcrafters. Ian H. Mr. Harrison, how are you, from East Yorkshire. Josh M. from Milan, Tennessee. Barrio W. from Chula Vista, California. Jason L. from Singapore. Sawyer from Portland. Don from Kingman, Arizona. Vince V. from Colorado. Soren S. from Denmark. Tom and Kelly, you're always there with us from Eatonton, Georgia. Thank you. Kurt B. from Surrey, Wisconsin. Dave M. from Utica, Michigan. Jeff C. from Lansing, Michigan. Jeremy H. from Montgomery, Tennessee. Brian K. from Noblesville, Indiana. I knew who that is. What's up, Canute? George L. from Naples. Anthony S. from Staten Island. Jeff O. from Clarksburg, Maryland. Wow, look at all the people. Gail H. from Eden, New York. Jim R. from Douglas, Mass. Massachusetts. Paul from Berkshire, UK. Spenceley. Spenceley? Spenceley, that's a cool name, from Columbus, Ohio. Thomas L. from The Hague in Netherlands. Wow, we got a lot of people from Netherlands this week. Jim J. from Portland, Oregon. I know here, Mr. Johnson. That is the Woodsman, and his wife is Debbie. Right? Yep, I think so. Ben S. from Cape Town, South Africa. Matt G. from Newark, Ohio. Johnny O. from Atco, New Jersey. John S. from Thornville, Ohio. Christopher from Malta. We're coming there, Bubba. Well, I want to go and do a Festool Live from Malta. I heard the weather's wicked. Kurt R. from Rochester. Dave and Kim from Rio Rancho, New Mexico. John H. from Sleepy Hollow, Illinois. Joe V. from Akron, Ohio. Apo A. from Akka, Finland. Wow, that's a tongue twister, huh? We have James H. from McKinville, Tennessee. Kevin N. from Marysville, California. Toby from Vienna, Australia. Dale S. from Swaddling, England. Patrick from Quebec, Canada. Peter V. from Burke Rod, Denmark. Chris F. from Pearland, Texas. Paris S. from Montreal. John from Woodbine, New Jersey. Gary F. from Weeksville, Ohio. Brian C. from Australia, Pumpkinville, Australia. Wow, you guys are staying up late. Bob S. from Overland Park, Kansas. Ron H. How are you, Ron? From Cincinnati, Ohio. Robert P. from Devon, England. South Devon, England. Don't you forget it. It's South Devon, England, not Devon. Rich Z. from how do you say that? Etobicoke, Ontario. I think I got it. Mickey B. from Tynesboro, Massachusetts. Jeff W. from Bloomington, Indiana. Dennis A. from Tacoma. Russ H. from Chichester. How you doing, Russ? James from Albany, Oregon. Johnny M. from Memphis, Tennessee. Paul P. from Anthem, Arizona. Monty from Canton, Connecticut. Chachka from Bogota, Colombia. Or Chacha. Travis J. from Lebanon, Indiana. Hey, that's Trappist, man. Woo! That's Trappist, ain't it? How you doing, Trappist? All right, Dan M. from Findlay, Ohio. Kevin N. from Bozeman, Montana. Mike I. from Park Ridge, Illinois. Steve H. from Devon. Dwayne H. from Rockledge, Florida. Andrew H. from Toledo, Ohio. Dragonfly, woo, from Strongsville, Ohio. How you doing, Patrick and Michelle? Tim W. from Livingston, New Jersey. Paul M. from Wilshire. Kevin C. from Santa Clara. Mona Maria L. from Paris. How you doing, Paris? Rancho from Bulgaria. John H. from Naperville, Illinois, and Stephen from Brights Grove, Ontario. You know what I just noticed? Von Tobel still has a Vaxis, the pump, and the SE1, and the heads. My God, what are you guys hiding that for? Why haven't you sold it? I'd give them a call. If you need, it's sold? It's sold already. I'm sorry. Daggone it, I thought I had a sale already. All right. Hey, everybody online, I want to thank you. Chris, follow me over here. Everybody who came in today, everybody who's part of our Festool family who came up here to see us, thank you from our hearts. We really appreciate it. I thank each and every one of you. We'll be hanging out for a little while afterwards. Come up, say hi, introduce yourselves. I haven't met you. I kind of know where you're from now. And we have another one next week, don't we? Thank you very much. What do I always say? We love you. Thank you so much for being here. And I got to tell you right now, my day was made when this young man came in and hung out with me. This is Derek from Monticello. He's been a very close friend of ours for a long time. So this is the original Big D. All right. Thank you, everybody. That's a wrap, and we'll see you next week. Same Festool time, same Festool channel. Thank you.